knows we're playing by my rules.
Gotham has probably the best and most enduring rogues gallery of any published superhero. The Joker, Bane, Hush, Mr. Freeze, they're all iconic, weird, and idiosyncratic in their own way. However, one of the most unusual villains ever created as a foil for the Dark Knight has barely appeared in the comics, and the story just gets more unusual from there.
I heard what you said to the judge. I want you to know that I understand about being different.
Mary Louise Dahl, aka Baby Doll, first appeared in the Batman the Animated Series episode titled Baby Doll. In it, we follow a former child star who was born with dwarfism. Because of this, she still appears like she did during the heyday of her sitcom success on a show called Love That Baby. Her inability to grow into an adult woman has driven her mad. Like many Batman villains, Baby Doll is a tragic figure. Someone who, if they had a bit more support and love, could have been saved from the dark path they now walk. Her in-show catchphrase,
I didn't mean to,
hints at the childlike lack of culpability central to her motivation. She suffers from an illness that has ostracized her and othered her. She has been completely alienated from everyone because of her physicality and the way that it has been exploited for entertainment. The plot of this episode follows Mary, now a has-been down on her luck actor, as she's pushed to the point of no return. After her acting career bottoms out, she decides to take up a life of crime as her last resort. She starts kidnapping her castmates from her old show, the last time in her life that she was happy.
We were just playing characters in a TV show.
It was real to me. Everybody loved Baby Doll until you came along. You made them forget me.
The plot might sound rote or standard for a Bat villain, but what really separates this episode from an already stacked list of second season episodes is the way it's written. It's the depth and humanity on display in this story that makes it sing. Baby Doll's backstory as an actor in a sitcom is one part Webster or Gary Coleman and one part I Love Lucy. It really nails the tone of making her empathetic and tragic while not letting her off the hook for the choices she makes. She objectively is wrong, but you know why she's making the choices she's making.
But it's not really real, is it? Just made up and pretend like my family and my life and everything else.
It's a timeless story, really, and it adds an interesting wrinkle to the way that Batman villains are typically portrayed as scarred and disfigured. The trope in Gotham is that Bat villains are perverted by the environment or physically damaged, but can't find a way to rise above it, like Bruce did with Batman. Harvey didn't used to be a good man, but had acid thrown on his face, and it permanently turned him into Two-Face. Clayface is an actor who literally has his body destroyed. Mr. Freeze has his body turned into a living popsicle. In some ways, Batman villains are a dark reflection of Bruce's psyche. He's a tormented man. Teetering on the edge of sanity, he chooses to dress like a bat and goes out and punches people. This is strikingly similar to what the other members of Gotham's nightlife do. The Joker represents what would happen to Batman if he were to ever lose his almost non-existent grip on his faculties. The Penguin represents what he could do with his wealth if he wanted to. Scarecrow represents what using fear to manipulate people can truly do if left unchecked. They're all sad reflections of Bruce's inner trauma, and Baby Doll is a similar case, but pushed to a wonderfully dark place.
Why did you do it? You, of all people, have the gall to ask me that?
We all know Batman's origin. His parents died due to a random mugging, and that day, Bruce's childhood was over. Baby Doll represents a parallel world where you're trapped in a never-ending childhood. There's certainly been a moment where Bruce wished he could go back to his childhood and experience it one last time. Well, Baby Doll is a symbolic representation of that wish, played up to its maximalist extreme. They're both sad, lonely children trying to find a way past their trauma, and they're both failing night after night. They both see themselves as represented outside of their natural bodies. Bruce looks in the mirror and doesn't see Bruce Wayne, he sees Batman. And that same character dynamic plays out in the finale of this episode, which follows Baby Doll as she's trying to do what Batman could never do, be the most extreme version of self-destructive. She's kidnapped the entire cast of I Love That Baby and has rigged a birthday cake to explode, killing them all, but Batman and Robin intervene.
It's never too late to have a happy childhood.
The juxtaposition of these two character motivations makes Baby Doll one of the most complicated and interesting Batman villains ever created, and yet she's barely been explored. The Joker has hundreds of appearances that have re-examined him and recontextualized him from every angle. Baby Doll, she has two major appearances. Two.
You used to be somebody, didn't you? You got that disease.
It's a condition, not a disease.
The next time we saw her was in Season 3, Episode 4, Love is a Croc, which follows her teaming up with and entering a relationship with Killer Croc. Baby Doll now runs a motel. Guests berate her, mocking her physical appearance and belittling her for how far she's fallen from her acting days.
Come on, baby. Do something funny.
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
While watching TV late at night, she sees a trial where Killer Croc is pleading for clemency and saying that he's been ostracized for being different.
I'm a victim of prejudice. Look at me. Nobody understands how rough my life's been just 'cause I'm different.
This is something that Baby Doll instantly relates to. They're wildly different, but united in how different they are from everyone else.
Why don't they ever understand? I'm not a baby. I'm not a child. I'm just different.
She breaks him out of Arkham, and the two start a Bonnie and Clyde crime spree and codependent relationship. There's so much potential in this setup. It's taking two characters that have a lot of narrative upside and giving them a mirror and a foil that's not Batman, allowing them to evolve and grow in theory. On paper, this episode does some really dark things with the duo. Their relationship turns sour. Croc is obviously physically abusive toward her, and he quickly grows disinterested in her physically.
I'm heading for the big time, and I mean solo.
Oh? What about the little woman?
Couple more jobs and I ditch the Cupid doll and blow this burg.
That's something you could make a whole narrative meal with. What does it mean when the person who you consider the only one who could love you rejects you? There's so much to unpack there, but instead, it's treated with a logic that's cartoony and surface level. Their relationship just isn't depicted with the maturity it really needed. And I know what you're saying, it's a kid's show, but Heart of Ice is incredibly dark. It won an Emmy for Best Writing, and the first episode with Baby Doll has its ridiculous moments, but it's dark and mature and treats her like a real person.
Why couldn't you just let me make believe?
This episode kinda seems like it forgets that Mary Doll doesn't talk like a literal baby, that's a character she plays. Sure, there's a couple scenes where she's talking in her Mary voice, but most of it is her Baby Doll voice. The best use of this idea comes from this scene.
Step one is getting out of here for a while.
Wait! Don't leave your baby again!
If you pay attention, she says, "Wait," in her Mary voice, and the rest of the line in character as Baby Doll. And how does Croc respond?
Baby said too.
I'm not in the mood.
Meaning they'll roleplay with her in character in the bedroom. Twisted and horrifying, but still amazing, simply amazing. Look, obviously they're not gonna be able to push this much further because it's a kid's show, but this moment is so creepy and potentially nuanced and layered. It shows how Mary is using this immaturity and lack of development to play into what these men are seeing her as. In the right hands, this could be a character-making moment, a truly exceptional piece of work, but it's just glossed over. This episode climaxes with Baby Doll uncovering the fact that Croc is cheating on her with traditionally attractive, able-bodied women, and she ends up staging a scenario where she's going to destroy Gotham and the two of them as a means of revenge.
When the reactor reaches critical mass, you and I will die together and take all of Gotham with us.
On paper, this also sounds like an absolutely unhinged heightening of her existing character, but it's not really examined or given the time to really develop her. She's just kind of stoically angry he's cheating on her, and it's too bad because it could be great. This episode has the potential to be an all-timer, and it just kind of fails to live up to its potential on every front.
You shouldn't have done it, Crocky. You shouldn't have made Baby angry. We could have been so happy and lived happily ever after, just like on TV.
And shockingly, that's where Baby Doll stayed for a long time. She popped up in a select few appearances like the Batman TMNT crossover, Batman White Knight, and the Harley Quinn 30th anniversary special. But she's always there in a cameo role.
Perhaps I should speak with your parents.
I'm 47.
The themes of arrested adolescence, a perversion of childhood, and body dysmorphia are so clearly layered and woven together to great effect in her first outing that it's almost shocking how bad her second appearance is. Baby Doll never got the chance to meet her true potential as a Bat villain, and at this rate, she never will. She's just relegated to the role of has-been, just like her in-universe counterpart.
Game's over, Mr. Batman. I win.
And well, that's all we have for this episode. What do you think? Is Baby Doll the most underrated original character created for Batman the Animated Series? Or does that role go to Harley Quinn? Let us know your thoughts below. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more Nerdstalgic videos just like this.